that, and it's a spiritual. It's a spiritual war, man, out there. It really is. And people want to get into these fantasy worlds of like wizards and Harry Potter and all these things, whatever. But it's actually happening. It's happening in real life. It's real life. You can live in two worlds, man. You can live in the spiritual world where this is going on constantly. It's a battle for your soul, because it really is. Or you can live in the world of the flesh and not even really think about it, I guess, and kind of just like ignorance is bliss type thing. You know, ignorance is bliss, and I think that's what half the stuff is in the news. You see, it's them trying just to distract those people into not realizing what's going on, really. But it's kind of like it's kind of like you're in the, it's like the same thing in the Matrix, in the movie, The Matrix. And I know people reference that movie a lot, but it is a really, it is a really good it's a really good visualization, because it speaks such a universal truth. Like I always say all the time, that's what makes an individual, is when they speak the universal truth in their own way, in their own form of whatever creation it is. It's like the person who made the Matrix and wrote the Matrix is telling you about life. It's just they're doing it through their own way and their own creativity. It's like the people that are in the pods tap into the Matrix would be the ones that don't realize, the spiritual warfare that's really going on before them, and they just live, and they live in front of the veil, which is like, they believe in UFOs and aliens, and they watch sports, and they don't, and they just go about their lives like in like a slumber sleep kind of state. They're not really too worried about. I'm not saying it's bad, and I'm not saying like they're bad people, or I don't hate on them, but I'm just saying like there are people that just go through this life asleep and don't really realize what's going on. Ignorance is bliss type thing. They're not bad people. They're not, they're not good people. They don't hate people. They don't hurt people. They just live their life, without ever really like notice, or not ever really realizing what's actually going on. People like that exist.